Hi everybody. I've got my friends, people in here asking me, and people somewhere else asking me what I have as a medical condition, what is my health problem. Okay, I'll start from the beginning. I have a Graves' disease. It's basically Graves' disease and overactive. Graves' disease is the most common cause of overactive thyroid. It can run in families and occur at any age, although it most common in women from age 20 to 40 years old and more likely to develop Graves' disease if smoke. Okay, so I'm going to start back. That's a little bit of what Graves' disease is. I'll cut back from the beginning how I actually found out about my thyroid. When I was 24, I discovered that I was losing weight so rapidly fast. I was losing it. I was basically had a lot of, I kept falling asleep. I had a lot of strain. I kept waking up in the morning and then going to bed in the night time early. So I said I went to the doctors and I said, by the way, this has been happening. Can I basically test myself to see what it is? They said, okay, we'll test you for thyroid. The doctor came back a couple of weeks later and said, you have an overactive thyroid. And I was like, what's an overactive thyroid? Well, she explained to me, this is how she explained to me. An overactive thyroid is where you have, basically, this is your thyroid and it has a door. Now, if you have an underactive thyroid, but if you have an overactive thyroid, basically your immune system and everything is basically unlocking and going through the door and making your metabolism speed up faster. Now, this is a huge problem because it won't stop you having kids, but basically it will make it harder to have kids because your metabolism will be going fast and everything, and it's just not really good for you. So she put me on carbimazole. She put me on 50 grams of carbimazole, so I kept taking them. I met my partner, I told him what I had, and he said that's fine. I then moved out 2 years ago. Then I moved out 2 years ago, so I've been living there for 2 years, so I was 25 when I moved out of my mum's place. 24, 25, I think it was 25. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember, I suppose it's a long time ago. It was 2 years ago, I'm 27 now, it was 2 years ago, you do the math. So I moved out and I stopped taking tablets. Then a year on, I was basically start to get really like, oh my god, what the hell's the matter with me? So, but I had an implant and everything. So basically, I wanted to get pregnant, and I have a video up on talking about how I moved how my implant was removed. I'll link it down below. So yeah, I talked about that on here, and then basically I tried to get pregnant. It was getting so hard for me to get pregnant. I couldn't get pregnant, and basically I kept going on I was on regular periods and everything, so it's fine. It wasn't that. So my doctor said, we'll take a blood test, see what's on. They then said I had an underactive thyroid. I said, okay, so they shoved me on levothyroxine. I'm on that now. Levothyroxine, about 10-20 grams. And then basically what had happened is that my body started playing tricks on me. I then went back to the doctor saying, listen, what am I doing? Because my blood test was coming back, and it wasn't coming back the way they wanted it to come back. No, it wasn't stable. It just kept bouncing. So my doctor sent me to a specialist last year, and basically they said, okay, your body's a bit weird because your body keeps skipping. I said, what are you talking about? They said, you have an underactive thyroid and an overactive thyroid. At this time, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was called Graves' disease at the time. And basically, I said, okay. So they put me on 50 levothyroxine grams, 50 grams of levothyroxine, which is on, this is what I'm on now. 50 grams of levothyroxine. The box is up there. Just can't get it down. And basically, I said, okay. So I kept going back there, and I kept getting annoyed because my thyroid, because it wasn't going down. They said, okay. And they said, just keep taking tablets, she'll be fine. My other specialist, because I had two, basically one basically the specialist that I had basically wasn't there, so I sent me to the same specialist to see her, but it was a different one because specialists, they switched. If one can't be there, they send the other one there. So basically I was like, okay, what's going on? She goes, you have Graves' disease. I was like, what the hell is Graves' disease? She goes, basically Graves' disease is what I just told you, is the most common for overactive. It can run in the families. I actually have my thyroid. My mum has an underactive thyroid, and basically I did have an underactive one. Now I have Graves' disease. I got it from my mum. It runs down in history. Don't know where my mum got it from, but it just runs down in the family. I thought, okay, fine, whatever, what can I do? And they said, basically, they talked to me a couple of weeks, they talked to me about surgery and about radiotherapy, and they said, we don't want you to have the radiotherapy because basically that can kill your eggs. And I said, what? And they said, because you want to have kids, we're not going to do to that one because it can kill your eggs. I said, okay, then what? They said, there's surgery. So she asked me to think about it. I had like 3 months to think about it. And me and my partner found out it was the best thing for me to basically get rid of my thyroid by surgery. What had happened, me and my partner were in bed one day and I said, Dan, it's getting ridiculous. I said, I want to have kids. And he wants to have kids. And I said, I can't get pregnant at the moment because of my thyroid. Because of my Graves' disease. It's just... The trouble is, the doctors didn't want me to get pregnant with my Graves' disease, so it's either me have the Graves' disease for life and not get pregnant, or me take it out and get pregnant. Basically, a Graves' disease, if you have Graves' disease and are pregnant, if you control the Graves' disease, they said you can, but because my keeps flipping, my thyroid keeps flipping, my underactive, my overactive just keeps flipping, my body's not working with it. So basically, if you have Graves' disease and get pregnant, there's complications. You could have the underactive thyroid, you could have the Graves' disease while the kid could have the overactive thyroid in there. It could develop a thyroid from a very young age. I didn't want that. It could be premature. I didn't want that. I could suffer from miscarriage. I have suffered from two miscarriages in like the last 3 years. I have suffered from miscarriages in the last 3 years. 2 miscarriages in the last 3 years, which is not good for me. So basically I was like, great, what next? They told me about everything that's complication with it, and I thought, what the hell? I was like, oh my god, what the hell's happening? So she goes, what I'm going to do is book you into a surgeon. She goes, you're going to see the surgeon and talk to him about it and everything. I said, okay, it should be fine. I went to the surgeon last year in November. December. I went there last year in December. And said I need to check me over, checked all my ears, checked my vital signs were fine, which they were. Touch with they still are. And basically what had happened, he goes, what I want you to do is, why are you here? So I explained to him why I was there, and he goes, that's a good one. He wants me to move a little bit, wants me to lose a little bit of weight because if you're overweight, the surgery is not hard, but basically when you lose the weight, you won't have as much bruising. So basically, he told me the side effects of the surgery, and I said, what are the risks? He said, the risks are you'll get a hoarse voice for a couple of months, your calcium levels, so your thyroid's in your neck, so I should mention, your thyroid is in your neck, and you have 4 little things behind that, it does your calcium. He goes, if they fail, you could be in calcium for the rest of your life. And he goes, well, if I just drank, he goes something. People think if you just drink calcium, it should be fine. Technically, yes, but I said to him, I didn't mind if my calcium failed, and basically, I was saying to him, I said, I don't care if it does fail. I said, I just need this so much, and he really knew in my eyes that I did need a surgery. I'm going into surgery. I'm having my pre-op assessment on the 29th of January. I'm had my surgery on the 9th of February at 12 noon, so I'm a little bit nervous. I'll be staying there for about 2 to 3 days, and then I need 2 days of rest. And basically the doctor was like, that's fine. The surgeon was like, okay, you're sorted. He gave me some leaflets about the thyroid surgery. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to be put under local anaesthetic. I've never been put under local anaesthetic. Never in my life. I've never been basically put to sleep. In other words, going for a deep sleep during the surgery. Never had that done. This is a big operation for me to have. They could basically thing your voice box so you wouldn't be able to speak. You could speak, but just be very slow. But I said, if I have a hoarse voice, I said, would it last? He goes, some people that when I have it off, sometimes I have a hoarse voice, sometimes they don't. The stitch, because they'd have to cut it right here, so I'd have to have it removed right then. They'd have to cut it, and basically they'd have to remove it and basically get stitches. He goes, sometimes you get a scar, sometimes you don't. But if I did have a scar, I wouldn't cover it up because it would just be like, oh, my war wound. Sorry, if I'm not explaining this very well, please, if I've missed anything out, please ask me questions down below. I don't mind it at all. So yeah, I'm going for the surgery, so I'm a bit nervous, but my partner's with me the whole way. I can't after surgery, I have to kind of save her for 1 to 2 days they have to get my tablets. I'll be on tablets for the rest of my life, and I do have a medical exemption certificate saying she doesn't have to pay for them because she's on, basically I'm on tablets for the rest of my life and this and that. What else is there? Yes, I've been on tablets for the rest of my life. If I miss one tablet, my organs will start to fail, and then basically I will die at a young age. Sorry to be gloom, but that's what would happen. So I'd have to take them very, very, I can't forget even one, because if I forget even one, that's it. I'd have to take it straight away. But my partner said he would help me through it, and he has really helped me through it. I'm losing weight. My Slimming World vlog will be up with my Slimming World vlog 2 will be up with my other ones, vlog 3. I'll tell you about that why in a different video. But yeah, Graves' disease, it does run in the family. You can develop it in your 20s to 40s. If you smoke, you can develop it, but I hadn't smoked for about 4 or 5 years. The reason... so when I have the thyroid taken out, I have to be very careful for what I eat. What I could eat is like soft foods and everything, just basic soft foods. Yeah, so that's all I'm going to tell you at the moment, guys. I will tell you about my recovery after my surgery and tell you how my surgery went and everything. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Ask me, if you want to ask me questions, ask me down below. I love hearing from you guys. I will tell you the honest truth, in my opinion. My body's kind of fucked me over really, and I said, Russell, you're getting your thyroid taken out. I don't care. But yeah, I will basically ask me questions down below, anything you want. Don't worry if you're going through the same thing. Hopefully you're not. If you are, I know what it's like. Losing weight is shit. You have to work really, really hard to lose it. But I'm just glad that I've got my bike sorted. I've got the exercise sorted. I've got the eating healthy sorted. I've got Slimming World. So yeah, hopefully I'll do something this week. I hopefully will. But yeah, please comment down below. I just love hearing from you guys. Ask me any questions, and if I've missed anything out, just ask me. Just ask me up straight. So yeah, the part 2 will be after my thyroid surgery and how my surgery went. If I do have a hoarse voice, please don't worry. It will probably go. It won't probably go. I do have. I said to my partner, my first to speak like Sam or Patty, and he said he'll probably laugh. But yeah, we've talked about, me and my partner talked about possibilities that could go wrong, but it's just good for the moment. I'm just happy that I'm getting it done finally. The reason why I talk about my voice box loss making it hoarse, because your voice box is right here and your thyroid's right on top of it, so it's very, very, very thingy. So guys, I'll talk to you more later, and I'll see you later. Sorry if this one's very, very long, but yeah, I love you guys. Bye.